What's going on, guys? So recently a viewer sent me an email and asked me if a certain tool that I featured years ago on my channel is still my favorite go-to tool, and it absolutely is. I have to keep bringing this up because people keep wondering where I got this, what this is all about, and why this is such a helpful tool if you have a car, pickup truck, SUV, or even an RV, because this thing is going to come in handy so many times for so many different things. What is it? Let's talk about it. Hang tight. I'll be right back. Okay, so hopefully when you saw the video I did on Greenworks products, not endorsement, not a sponsorship, well, I guess it's kind of an endorsement. I'm endorsing their product a little bit here, but you probably saw a video I did a while back on this product. It's basically an impact wrench, 1/2-inch chuck up here up front, and this right here is an insane value, or at least was an insane value whenever I talked about it. It was like under $100, like 80 something bucks. You have a 1/2-inch medium torque powered wrench right here, along with a 4 amp hour 24 volt battery. Feels nice and substantial. You know, Greenworks is a reputable brand, but they're definitely not like a direct competitor against your DeWalt's or your Milwaukee's. This is going to be more like a Craftsman type tool or a Ryobi, something like that. But if you're looking for something like this is absolutely still a great value. It's like $150 now, a little less than that on Amazon, but it's still a great value considering it comes with a charger and a 4 amp hour battery, which really makes it a good value, to be honest with you. If you try to get this really from any other brand, you're going to pay closer to $200 or more. That said, there's a period of time where I actually found this on Amazon, and it was under $100. So if you snatched it up then, along with several of the other power tools, good job to you. Anyways, back to the topic. So this is a product from a company called Nico. And I got these on Amazon because they looked really, really cool. And it comes in this really compact case. What are these? These are reversible sockets that come in almost all the major sizes you would need if you're going to take a wheel off of your car, truck, or SUV, or even if you're going to take one off of your RV, and even other areas of your RV that you might need something like this. So let's kind of talk about this real quick. So first of all, you have 7/8, 3/4 inch, as well as 15/16 inch and 13/16 inch, which are very popular sizes for a lot of wheels. You also have 21 millimeter, 22 millimeter, 19 and 17 millimeter, and an adapter. And the way this works is you basically have a size on each side, and then you have this cool little adapter right here, which pops in to the side that you don't need. And then you put it on your impact wrench, and you're good to go. I am telling you, I get more use out of these kits than just about any other socket kit I have, because it almost always works with whatever application I have. And I'll give you a couple demonstrations here. So a lot of people are going to say, well, what's so special about this? First of all, again, it works with a lot of other applications. Let's say I'm going to want to change a tire on my GMC here. I can simply find the right size, and it works perfectly. They're thin-walled sockets, so they fit into a lot of tighter areas that some of your thick-wall standard sockets may not fit into. They're impact rated as well, and I've bought like 5 of these boxes. I get them as gifts. I've bought several for myself. I put them in just about every vehicle and in about every RV, every toolbox. But we're going to come over here to the RV, and we're going to see if there is the size to fit the RV, and that is a thin-wall required area right there, because your standard socket size isn't going to fit there. So that fits perfectly. That's 19 millimeter. Let me show you another area. Well, let's just say we're working on the shackle hangers here. We have to do a roadside repair. Let's see if I can find the right size here. Right there. That center one is 21 millimeter. So are my actual shackle straps right here. Okay, let's go around to the wet bay on the Brookstone. So we had that winter freeze come through, basically took the cap off of my Dometic water heater right here. I need to put it back on. This simply screws in the bottom right here. If I had this kit with me and I was at an RV park or something like that, I have the perfect size to tighten this back on as well. Oh, I'm sorry, this is also 15/16 of an inch. Fits perfectly. Now this does help to use this in conjunction at times with a ratchet, but yep, works perfectly, fits perfectly. Again, Very, very cool to have a product that gives you so much flexibility for so many scenarios you may be in without having to carry around some huge chest of tools that carries a bunch of sizes that may not matter to you. Now, believe it or not, I actually used this kit also to change out from the standard pin box that came on our fifth wheel to this Reese Goose box. Again, my 15/16 right there. Perfect. Fits all of the hardware that came with the Reese Goose box to change it out. Again, if you are, let's say, at an RV campground and you're doing some heavier duty jobs that have larger bolts, larger nuts that you need to crack, you have the right tool with this most of the time. It's not going to have every possible, adapter, every possible size you need. But for me, 9 out of 10 times, this kit's had what I needed when I've needed it for your larger sizes. Now, it's not going to have every size, and it is going to be limited when it comes to your smaller sizes. So, for instance, whenever we installed the B&W Continuum hitch, it did not have the right size for this. These were a little too small, so it doesn't hurt to have a smaller set of sockets whenever you need them for these types of projects. But for most of your emergency projects, even something like this, to where you might need to raise or lower your jack legs, check that out right there, 3/4 inch. No problem at all. So again, the point here is that this is an absolutely fantastic set, and the best part of it is it's an absolutely killer price. You get this entire set for under 40 bucks. It's like 37 bucks. I think in the last 5 years, inflation on this thing's only gone up like 6 bucks. So it's still a really good time to grab this. Again, you can pick it up on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description of this video if this is something you're interested in. They did not pay me. They did not provide this to me. I've actually purchased several of these sets myself. I've put them inside of every truck we have, inside my wife's vehicle, inside of the RVs, inside of the shop. It is such a handy kit to be able to grab and go, and know that if you're dealing with your larger lug nuts, if you're dealing with your larger bolts, this is likely going to have the size you need for your RV, your truck, car, or SUV. And they are thin-walled and they are impact rated. 1/2-inch power impact wrench, you have a really good setup. I'm not saying buy this one in particular. I'm just saying that what you get for the price is still pretty good for this, even though it's like $60 more than what it used to be when I first talked about this. Again, I got both of these off of Amazon. I'll throw links in the description of this video if this is something you're interested in. I had to show this because, quite frankly, this again is one of those go-to products that if somebody says, what are some tools that I need to get if I'm getting into RVing, this is like one of my favorite go-to kits, and it works really well. I have yet to have a single one fail on me, and we have tightened and loosened some incredibly stubborn bolts, including whenever we had to install the Reese Goose box on the front of the fifth wheel. You had to torque them down to pretty high load, and had absolutely no problems with these, even using a torque wrench. So again, really, really cool product. Highly recommended. Guys, if you bought this kit after watching my channel, leave a comment below. I would love to know what your thoughts are, how you feel about it, and if you felt it was a good investment to spend your money on. Also with this, how do you feel about this if you picked this up? Have you used it yet? Have you had to change a wheel out, tire, change suspension components, install a new hitch? Any of that stuff, I would love to know what you think. Guys, if you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and we'll talk to you again very soon.